Hi guys, welcome to your pregnancy and postpartum core workout for today. We have 5 different movements. We're going to be doing them for 1 minute each, just one time through. If you want, you can always repeat this workout to do it twice through, 3 times through, but we're going to go through 1 time today. I will cue up the movement, kind of show you how it goes. We'll do a minute of it together, and then we'll go on to the next movement. All of these are going to be appropriate for both postpartum and pregnancy. Obviously, there's varying differences in each person's journey, so if you need to modify at any point, I will also be throwing out those kind of cues to make sure they're appropriate for where your current fitness level is at. What we're going to start with is a pelvic floor and core relaxation movement with a child's pose plus a lat stretch. Pelvic floor and core relaxation is actually one of the main keys to a strong and functional core, which is why we are starting with that today. I go into depth extensively on the breath that we'll be working on, why we're doing pelvic floor relaxation in my core lab, so if you want, you can always dive into that for some more detail. But for now, we're going to start with a child's pose with a lat stretch. So we're going to walk our hands out first, walk them over to the left side, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other, and 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going to walk the hands out first as far as they can go, and then all the way over to the left side, and we're going to be adding that 360-degree connection breath to this pose. So on the inhale, letting that belly inflate, pelvic floor relax, belly relaxes. On the exhale, pelvic floor draws in, hip bones draw in, pelvic floor or rib cage drops down for a nice full engagement. We'll switch sides in 3, 2, 1. Walking over to the other side now, so that other lat, the left side now can feel that big full stretch, letting everything relax on those big inhales, lifting, slightly engaging without fully flexing on the exhale. So trying to get into that big full range of motion with both our core and pelvic floor. We got about 8 more seconds here. Again, you can pause this and go for longer if you need to, or repeat. 3, 2, 1, and good. All right, our first full movement, or I guess second movement, but first active movement is going to be a glute bridge knee in. So what this looks like, you'll be on your back. First, we're going to come up into a full glute bridge hold. We're going to do a big inhale first, exhale to set up and constrict our pelvis so it's nice and stable. And then we're going to drive one knee in, drop it down, and repeat. So another big inhale, exhale down, draw in, repeat. You can either keep it at that pace and go one breath to one knee in, or if you feel more advanced, you can always go at a faster pace and kind of go more fluid with it. So that's going to be our next minute in 3, 2, 1, and go. So first we're up in this glute bridge. Big inhale, relax. Exhale, engage, constrict. Bring that knee in, drop it back down. Repeat. Inhale, exhale down, draw in, come back down. Now, depending on where you're at in pregnancy, you can always reduce the range of motion, so you can just bring your foot up just a little bit, or you can just stay in a glute bridge. This is also going to be awesome for your core, 360 degrees from your back to your front, so you can always modify that way. Early postpartum applies to that as well. And then same thing with postpartum. If you feel like you just can't lift that leg up, or there's not enough glute strength quite yet, you can always just stay or go in a shorter range of motion. So whatever works for you, we're trying to draw that core in as we drive our knees. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and good. So let that come in. We're going to relax for a second, bring those knees in. Next one we're going to do is a side plank clamshell. So we're going to be on our elbow. We're going to do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. Knees are going to come a little in front of you, feet are kind of behind you. First thing we're going to do is pop up into a side plank, and then from there we're going to go for some clamshells. So this is going to be oblique work for both pregnancy and postpartum, and inner outer thigh and hip work with the clamshell. So we'll do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds on the other. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So first we're popping up, knees down, and then we're flaring that top leg, top knee back, so we feel that upper or outer glute kind of squeeze or engage at the top. We're trying to draw in that oblique at the bottom, so we're not dipping down. We want to stay nice and level here, pulling our chest open to the front so we're not caving in here either. 5 more seconds on this side, and then we'll switch. And Now we're coming up with that other side. So again, now we're feeling that opposite side oblique. We're holding up nice and steady. This is great for pregnancy as we're working our oblique muscles and as we're getting our hip rotation, hip range of motion. Postpartum, we love our side planks there too. 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, shake that out for a second. Fourth move, we're gonna go into a bird dog airplane. So a bird dog generally is when you just extend out and come back in. I like to add a little bit of an airplane to it to get some more hip range of motion, hip movement out of it. So first we're going out into that bird dog. We're rotating the arm and that leg out and then bringing it back in after it's already extended. So then opposite side would be opposite arm, opposite leg, coming all the way until you can't, and then coming back down. Everyone's range of motion is gonna look a little bit different with this, so just go to the range that you can. We're gonna be alternating sides for the full minute. So follow along, and we'll start with this in 3, 2, 1, and go. So opposite arm, opposite leg, shoot out, they kind of rotate to the side, coming in. Exhaling on that full movement. So exhale here, here, and then back in. You can always do a big inhale to reset. Exhale, bring that belly button in, extend, rotate out, bring it back down, reset, or just kind of go right into it. Again, it depends on how far along in pregnancy you are, how short or how few weeks you are postpartum. So everybody's gonna be at a different time frame. Adjust your timing of breath and your speed to that. We've got 20 more seconds here. This move is best when it's slow and controlled, so try not to go fast with it. We want to feel those full ranges, full extension points, both forward and to our sides. Nice job. In 3, 2, 1, and drop. Good. All right, last one we have is a hover plank. So we're going to be on all fours to start. We're going to be doing this for a minute, so there's a lot of different ways to modify, and I'll help guide you through that. The goal here is to hold our knees hovering over the ground for the full minute. This is also called a bear crawl hold, if you have heard about that before. This helps with shortening the range of motion, so if you're pregnant, you're not having as much, belly pulling down. We're kind of shortening this so we can stay more stacked, more in control. Rib cage stays over the hips, so we stay nice and aligned. And if you need to, you can always drop out and just kind of shake it out, pop back in. Or another option would be to modify by doing a hover plank rock back. We're just kind of rocking back, sitting here, and then pulling forward into it. So a little bit more mobility along with it versus just resting. So this one's gonna be tough. It's our last movement. Let's hit it in 3, 2, 1, and go. So wrists right underneath those shoulders. We're trying to get parallel with the ground with our shins. We're pulling that belly button up and in so we feel nice and flat in the back, nice and controlled in the core. And we're just gonna hang out here for as long as we can. Again, the way to modify would either be to just drop down to your knees, pop back up whenever you can, or rocking back into that full kind of like hovering child's pose and then coming back and up into it. What we don't want to see is any arching or lack of core control. We want to pull that belly button up and in, engage that deep core, stay nice and solid. Pull that head kind of forward so we're not crunching up in our shoulders. Want some nice length in the neck. We have 12 more seconds. Here we go. In 6, almost there, you guys, you got it. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's end in our child's pose right where we started. Let that back fall in. Again, let's work on some good big connection breaths. So inhaling, letting the air fill our bellies, fill our pelvic floor, lengthen. Exhale, engage slightly with the core. Lift the pelvic floor, drop the rib cage. One more big deep breath. Inhale through the belly. Exhale, connect everything and bring it back together. Awesome. All right, well, I hope you had a great workout for today. You can always repeat that if you want to, or hit it again tomorrow. Regardless, super happy you joined us and excited to see you next time.